Calling all real estate agents, I'm going to dive into the 10 game-changing strategies that real estate agents are absolutely using right now to win in this industry. Obviously, we've got to put the work in. We have to start in training camp and work our tails off. And as we continue to execute on all strategies, the strategies that work for you, the game changes, right? And then the playoffs are here. And we're going to talk about the 10 game-changing strategies today, so stay tuned. What's up, guys? Jeremy Kane, Real Estate Agent Playbook. Love talking strategy, as you know. If you are interested in a game plan call with me, please click that calendar link below, book a call. I would love to make a game plan for your success, no matter what brokerage you're at, no pitches, no sales, just straight value and helping you succeed and get wins every single day at the game of real estate. While you're here, like what you hear, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, please share the podcast, and I absolutely look forward to connecting with you. But let's get into it. First things first, let's talk about the difference between advertising and marketing. Advertising costs money, marketing is absolutely free. To be significant in the market, you must absolutely stand out. Just like a skilled athlete needs to continue to showcase their talent and, execute as they go, you as a real estate agent need to do the same thing. So that marketing materials and, maintaining consistency and brand, which we'll talk about in a second, is absolutely key. But make sure that you are doing as much marketing as you possibly can, not advertising, not paid, just marketing in general. Next thing, as I touched on, build that personal brand. It must be an evolution, right? Things change, everything changes. So if you have a strong personal brand that absolutely has the cornerstones, has your personality attached to it, and you can live by and be proud of that, you must every single day put work in, put the practice reps in to absolutely hit the home run as your career develops and grows. It can start as easy as your story, right? And a lot of people start the brand conversation with colors and logos and taglines and all of that. Your brand should be surrounded around your story because that's never going to change. The story is who you are. As Rene Rodriguez says, your story is usually, developed from the ages of 9 to 13. So whether it's, a negative experience, a super positive experience, that's where your story, your origin story really kicks off. Probably has a lot to do with how you operate today and maybe even what career you ended up going to. So make sure that you're thinking about that. Check out Rene Rodriguez if you're interested in learning more about that. But for now, really focus in on that brand, focus in on that story, and then you can, it kind of makes sense. Then things kind of flow in. And maybe it's a story that you don't want, to relive because it was a negative thing, but that maybe fuels you, right? So take from that what you will, build that brand for success, even if it means, not going back to that dark time or whatever happened there. You can build a brand around your story first, and then you can absolutely continue to develop as it goes with the logos and the taglines and all of that. Next is the social media slam dunk. There is nothing easier in the marketing world than social media. Absolutely make sure that you're on there, you're on the platforms that make sense, on the platforms that your target avatars are using, and make sure you're consistent, right? Whether that's posting, engaging, start the conversation, connect with people, because the honest truth is that's a huge point of passive connection right now. People aren't, as likely to pick up the phone and do the things. So you must have that presence and absolutely take your game to the next level and throw that slam dunk down in the social media world. The next is your content marketing, right? Both within social media, emails, all of that. You must deliver value to somebody. There are a ton of real estate agents. There are a ton of options out there for the consumer, and you must consistently deliver that marketing material, but it has to have value. Whether that's that one sheet that explains, how to prepare your child for good credit so that they can buy a house, or whatever that looks like, that the target avatar is like, oh, that's great, that's value, I'm going to tune in. You want to continue to deliver consistent, valuable content as much as you can across social media, across email, across events or whatever that is. Make sure you're always looking at, okay, is this actually valuable for my client? Because if we're able to deliver valuable marketing material, that absolutely helps us level up in the game of real estate. Next is that SEO. We got to score a touchdown with SEO. search engine optimization. This is, when you type your name, when you type your city, you gotta, as high as you possibly can and have your website rolling and do a bunch of blogs and keywords and do all of that, because the more you show up in the internet engine, the better it will be. Also optimizing your, content, whether that's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. This is all stuff that's absolutely important. If you're putting the time in to create content, whatever, we want to make sure we're hitting those keywords. We want to make sure we're showing up where we want to show up. Now, I wouldn't pay anyone to rank #1 on Google. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But when people type your name, they need to know what you do, they need to know how to get a hold of you, and they probably need to see some testimonials and things. So make sure that SEO is working, make sure you have that Google business page working. All of those things will really help your SEO and make you more searchable, right? And you never know, you could hit the home run and end up in those top pages. But as you go, depending on the keywords, you must dial that in and make sure that everything is staying consistent. And so that when those keywords come up, when your specialties are needed, or when someone raises their hand, goes to Google or whatever, they want to find you, or they have the opportunity to find you. So make sure you're paying attention to that. What gets measured gets managed. Put the time in to really optimize each and every one of your sites, digital platforms, whatever that looks like, because it really is a big deal. Next, we must use video. Okay, whether this is for marketing properties, obviously the virtual tours with the moving screen, pictures, things drive me crazy. Give video, give that client more lifelike experience, and they will absolutely engage more, and they will absolutely reach out to you. And so if you're showing up and you got this great video for every single property you sell, well, at some point someone's going to call you and be like, hey, I have this friend who's a real estate agent, but I have to sell my house and I really like those videos you do. So can you come over and do a listing presentation? We can see about working together, right? All those things. Not to mention video builds immediate trust, right? I feel like when I get, people who've watched my videos, Facebook, YouTube, wherever it's from, they have a sense of trust with me already. So make sure that you're using video both in this, to convey information, to educate on the market, to do of that, but also in your marketing, right? Give that video a chance, pay extra dollars to get a real, true video of the home. Obviously, get your butt on video. If you're a real estate agent, you can kind of do the home tours and get that branding piece all kind of mixed into one. But video must be a part of your business if you want to succeed and scale. Next, something that people don't think about, these strategies are absolutely huge, is networking, right? You must build a collaborative team of trusted individuals, not necessarily all at the same brokerage. Don't have to be, that. You don't have to come work at my brokerage just to, trade ideas or network or collaborate on anything, right? Obviously, you can't collaborate on listings, but other than that, collaborate with other agents, see what other agents are doing. Don't get imposter syndrome, but say, oh, that's a great idea. I'm going to see how I can incorporate that into my market, or I'm going to see how I can incorporate that into my business. So this collaboration is really key when you're out there trying to win in this game of real estate. Next thing is know the data, know the analytics, know everything that's going on, from the real estate market stats to the average days on market to all the things, interest rates kind of thing. Obviously, as a real estate agent, you might want to leave that alone a little bit, but you can talk in generalities, but make sure that you know everything that's going on in the market, but also know the analytics. How many views, how many likes, how many friends, and some of those are vanity metrics, but typically if you put a post out there that gets 50 likes and a couple comments, and that's what your avatar's looking for, right? If they're engaging, that clicked a button with them. And so make sure that you're paying attention to not only the analytics of the real estate market, but the analytics of your website and your social media and all the things, your email open rates, so that you can best deliver that content, again, to give that valuable content, that valuable marketing piece like I mentioned above. And once you have a strategy, stick with it, right? So many times I see a ton of agents, build a strategy and, have this great idea and they just stop short, right? They just stop short of executing. So develop your playbook, develop your consistency, and go all in, right? Go all in on that. Just like an athlete, choosing between football and basketball in high school or college, hopefully, right? They got to pick one. Which one are they going to go all in at? Maybe which one can they, see that they have the highest ceiling or whatever. Do those things in your marketing, in your business, and you will absolutely see a difference in your output. So, just make sure that you have that playbook and you stick to the playbook. Sure, try different things, bring little things in. I always say, as an agent, you should be focusing 85% of your marketing, of your prospecting, of all your time building your business and the things that are part of that playbook, and maybe 15% of trying new shiny things, right? I'll try it for a couple weeks, see if it works. Yeah, I can fit that in, or no, that's not what my client's looking for. And if you can kind of do that, okay, now we have this 15. Oh, that really worked, right? That door knocking strategy really works. So I'm going to put that over here in the 85%, right? And you continue to build that and continue to make it a variable deal. It'll absolutely change your business. You're now armed with 10 things that will absolutely help your marketing strategies as you go. Make sure that you're dialed in. If you have any questions or you want help building, a pillar of business, please reach out. In my group, I do a 6-week foundation call with newer agents or seasoned agents to say, okay, we're going to pull out 3 pillars that make sense. We're going to dial in for 12 weeks. You're going to get an accelerator, and I'm going to coach you along the way, because I truly believe in focusing on one pillar, building it the right way, building it to your brand, your personality, and absolutely executing. So if you're interested in that, book a call below, and I'd love to talk to you about my group and partnering with me. But if not, anything you ever need, reach out. Game plan calls are amazing. Like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, and share the podcast anywhere that podcasts are listened to. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.